This does require some slight modification. Didn't realize that. I guess I should have read the instructions on the website first, but it's not a bad modification. Basically, the adapter hits this bracket. So you can see right here on the adapter, kind of look at this profile, got this lip here. And the problem is this is the adapter that goes onto the carb. So kind of goes onto the carb this way, and then that plastic part has to come here. But the problem is when you go to line these up, this corner hits, right? So right there is hitting. So if I try to, you'll see how I can't get it to go flush. It's sitting up, you know, there's flush, and then to get it there, it goes up. So the first mod is we're gonna wanna shave this this corner off right here. I'll tell you that I had to get almost to where the gasket was. So if you see that green gasket, see that area right there? I literally had to go almost right up to the gasket. When you put it on there, the holes line up. Trying to show you with holding it with one hand, but now you can see how that hole lines up, and the bottom hole is actually lined up as well, but my finger's in the way. So yeah, that's the modification. Okay guys, just a little update here. I have not been able to get this propane to successfully run on the generator, and it almost feels like there's air leaking in somewhere around where the adapter fits the carburetor. So what I'm going to try next is I'm going to just eliminate this adapter here altogether. I thought it would have worked because there is rubber on both of the sides here. So I thought I would be getting a good seal, but what I'm going to do is I end up just using gasket maker material, and I trace these out, and I'm going to use gaskets on both sides of the propane adapter instead of this, to see if I can somehow seal up that air leak and get a good vacuum. So we're going to try that next and see what happens. Okay guys, so I finally figured out the issue with this generator not starting and running, and I only figured it out by eliminating the connectors. So basically I went straight from the nipple here right into the hose, and it started up. So then I figured, okay, this must be restricting this 6500 from starting. Now keep in mind, I do use this setup for the the Honda EU 2000, and because the 2000 is a much smaller engine, it doesn't require as much propane as this 6500 does. So that's how it's able to start. Now I actually did bite the bullet and went out and actually bought legitimate propane natural gas connectors. So and I want you to hear something. Here's the difference. I'm going to blow into these both, and they're both connected male and female. The air hose that I was using, I never should have used air hoses at the beginning. Should have always used the proper adapters, but it worked for my smaller generator. But you're going to hear the difference. I'm going to blow through these, and you're going to hear the difference between the propane adapter and the air hose, and you're going to hear how much more the air hose is restricted. So just listen up. But first I'm going to do the air hose. Just by blowing in and out on that, it's actually was hard for me to suck air in and push air out. Now here it is through the natural gas propane connector. So I'm not sure how well that's going to come out on camera, but it's a huge difference. This propane adapter lets a lot more volume through of gas than this air hose adapter. So what I'm going to do is I bought 5 of these. So I'm basically going to take these off and go back to the ball valve, and I'm going to install the propane connectors. And then we're going to go ahead and hook everything back up and try to start it again, and I absolutely believe we'll be successful. All right, guys. So I wanted to show you the finished product here. So I ended up going with the 2 self-made gaskets and took out the second gasket that I showed a little earlier. This made it a little bit thinner, and I was actually able to get the nuts back on. I did not need to use those extended ones that came with the kit. So what I have here is basically it's going, and I did upgrade these to actually natural gas propane connectors. So I have that going all the way up here, and on this set out here, again, I replaced the air hose connectors, which were 1/4 inch, with these 3/8 natural gas propane connectors. Got the connectors at Home Depot. They're nothing special. They're just mostly 3/8 natural gas propane. So what I have here is 2 female disconnects. The hoses have males on both ends, and then I decided to make all the generators have a female. So if you see on this 2000, it's a female, on that 2000, it's a female. And then over here on the 6500, it's a female as well. Now, I don't have this mounted yet. That'll be my last step. I'll actually take this female here, probably gonna mount it maybe here. I don't know the exact spot yet where I'm gonna tap into. It's quite possible that I could come out the front as well. If I wanted to bring it out front somewhere, I could do that. Just trying to figure out the best place to put that. But anyway, I just wanted to start it up just to show you what I'm gonna probably do here tomorrow, or one of these days this week, is actually run this 6500 on a tank, a 20-pound tank, and see how many hours I get out of it. So I'll use a normal day's usage. It is hot down here right now. I think it's about 90 degrees outside, so the air conditioner will be on and off a lot. 6500 will definitely handle that. What I'm curious about is how long that smaller tank's gonna last. Might last, 2-3 hours, might last 4 hours, 5 hours, but it'll give me a good indicator of in a real outage how long I'll have on a tank. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fire it up for you. What I'm gonna do is just should make it easier to start if I just purge. So on the back of this I have a primer. Just gonna push that, get some gas into the system. It's a pretty long hose. It's 12-foot hose I think I put on there. I do like this method as opposed to most of the ones I see where they mount the regulator right to the generator. I don't know, I just like the portability of having the regulator on the propane tank. I've had no issues with it running the 6500 or the 2000s with the regulator, 12 foot away. So what we're gonna do is just go over here, turn this on, and see what happens. Doors are shut, so. But anyway, I'll have to put a full load on it to fully adjust it. But most of these have a load block coming out like right here, and then they have a knob with a screw on it. I chose to use the ball valve, and I'll show you. You should be able to hear the generator. So when I start turning it down, it's going to get less fuel and it'll start stuttering. Hear that starting to stutter. So I'll have to tune exactly where this should be under full load. It might be all the way open, it might be a little bit turned in. I won't know until I get a full load on it to test. Just gonna go ahead and shut this off. And that, by the way, was non-eco mode, so about as loud as the generator will get right there. All right, so yeah, next up will be hooking this up to my house and powering the house. We'll see how long one of these tanks goes.